You ever look at a place so big, so packed with all the right things, crystal vases, silent chandeliers, gardens manicured down to the last stubborn weed, and feel like the only thing in it that doesn't belong is you? That was Adam's whole world at 6 years old. The son of a man whose last name could open any door, but whose footsteps echoed down empty marble hallways. Adam hadn't taken a single real step in his life, not since the day he was born. Blonde hair, skin so pale it nearly matched the linen sheets he spent his days in, a body as delicate as porcelain. Maybe that's what people saw, but what he felt was even worse. Because even if you don't know the pain of not walking, you know what it's like to want something so bad it aches, right? You know what I mean? Anyway, the doctors, they came and went like a parade of well-dressed ghosts, rattling off words that tangled in Adam's mind and left his dad staring out windows and signing checks. Neurological, developmental, autism maybe, delayed motor skills for sure. Each man left with the same sad smile, the same message: he may never walk. You'll have to accept it. And his father, Victor, he tried to fill that void with every specialist, every shiny gadget, every miracle someone could sell. But at the end of the day, Adam was alone with his crutches, his dreams shrinking to fit the size of the room he never left. His mother? Let's just say she made her own exit before Adam could even figure out what was wrong with him. Some folks walk out with a slam. She left on silent feet, taking every trace of warmth with her. So, yeah, the loneliness settled in. Not like a shadow, more like a fog, something you can't quite shake off, not even if you run for it. And Adam couldn't run anyway. He spent hours gazing out the windows, watching other kids with knees scraped raw from falling, lives rough around the edges and so alive. Sometimes you gotta wonder what hurts more, not having or always wanting. Then, one morning like to start a new chapter, or maybe a rescue mission, Clara showed up. You could say she arrived quietly, almost like she was afraid to disturb the furniture. Mid-30s, skin dark as polished walnut, eyes sharp but gentle. She was the new maid, nothing more on paper. But Adam noticed right away she moved different. She looked at him, not through him, not past him. She paid attention to the small things, how he tensed when his crutches got near, how his gaze dropped when adults talked above him. And Clara, she didn't rush. She didn't treat him like some fragile artifact. She just sat, sometimes near him, sometimes right next to him, letting the silence hang until he broke it with a question or just a sigh. One afternoon, she found him perched on the stairs, staring out at the sunlight he never touched. "Why aren't you outside?" she asked, voice like a soft old song. Adam just shrugged. "You don't like the sun?" she pressed, gentle as a breeze. "I don't like falling," he muttered, head down. She cocked her head. "You fall often?" He nodded. "Every time I try." And Clara, she grinned, this slow, knowing smile. "Then that means you get up every time too, don't you?" Nobody had ever said it that way. Not even close. It stuck with him, echoing in the back of his head. From then on, she was everywhere, not pushy, not loud, just present. She started sitting with him at lunch, asking him about superheroes and imaginary friends. She'd tuck him in when his father worked late, read him stories that made him forget about pain, even if just for a page or two. The funny thing is, sometimes all it takes to turn a whole life around is someone willing to really listen to the small stuff. Adam started talking to her, not about doctors or problems, but about birds outside his window, dreams too silly to say out loud. Sometimes, you just need someone to believe you're more than your broken parts. One day, Clara brought his crutches over. "Let's try again." Adam stiffened, could already hear the disappointment in his head, the words the doctor had left behind. "They said I'll never be normal," he whispered. Clara got down to his level, looking him straight in the eye. "Normal's boring. Who cares about normal?" "I care about you." His chin quivered. "Why?" "You don't even know me." And she said, voice thick, "Because I've seen what loneliness does to a kid. I'm not letting it have you." He stared at her for the longest moment, then, barely a whisper, "You won't leave like the others?" Clara smiled, gentle but fierce. "I promise. As long as you try, I stay." For the first time, Adam let himself believe it. Day by day, step by trembling step, she brought him out, sometimes just to the porch, sometimes to the garden path. He'd cry. She'd hold him. He'd fall. She'd clap like it was a win. Every fall means you tried. That's how you get stronger. One rainy morning, they reached a puddle, nothing big, but to Adam, it looked like the ocean. He froze, hands white-knuckled on his crutches. I can't. I'll slip. Clara did something wild. She pulled off her apron and spread it over the puddle. Now it's not a puddle. It's your bridge. Cross it. He shook his head so hard his hair flew. What if I fall? What if I look stupid? Clara leaned in, soft but steady. You could never look stupid to me. And if you fall, I'll fall right with you. But I believe you won't. Not this time. Adam's whole body shook. You promise? I promise. He inched forward, foot shaking, barely touching the cloth. Crutches wobbling, panic rising. Clara, I'm right here, she said, her hand on his arm. You're okay. Look, your foot's down. Now the other. And somehow Ho did it. Both feet landed. He gasped. I didn't fall. Clara's eyes were wet. No, Adam, you walked. The look on his face, pure disbelief. Did you see? I walked. She hugged him so tight the crutches nearly tumbled. I saw every second, and I'll see every step after this one. You ever see a miracle? Not the fireworks kind, not lightning from the sky, just a boy, standing shaky but grinning, and a woman, tired but beaming like the sun, came up just for them. From the porch, Victor Adams' father watched, frozen, the whole scene unspooling in front of him like a film he never expected to see. He hadn't seen his son take more than a step or two, ever. Not with all the money in the world. Yet here was Adam, walking and not a doctor in sight. Just Clara, the new maid. Victor rushed forward, nearly slipping on the wet stone, briefcase forgotten, papers blowing across the grass. He dropped to his knees, clutching Adam's shoulders. You really did it, my boy. My son, you're walking. Adam's face was flushed, shining with sweat and joy. I thought I couldn't, Daddy. I thought I'd never do it, but Clara told me I could. She didn't let me quit. Victor looked at Clara, who stood back, apron soaked, hands scraped, eyes low. You, he croaked. You did this. Clara shook her head. It was Adam, sir. I just believed in him. Victor's voice broke. Don't downplay it. You did what no one else could. You gave him courage. You gave him life. Adam tugged Victor's sleeve. Daddy, can Clara stay forever? She promised she won't leave. She's the only one who believes I can be strong. Clara's eyes brimmed, but she shook her head, nervous. Adam, don't put me in trouble. Victor cut in, voice trembling. Trouble? Clara, you saved my son. You gave me back hope. If anyone deserves honor here, it's you. Clara's lips trembled. I didn't do it for honor. I did it because no child should feel broken. Adam isn't broken. He's brave. Victor took a shaky breath, brushing Adam's hair. Son, you're not broken. I was the broken one, for thinking money could fix what only love could. Adam's eyes filled. So she can stay? Victor turned to Clara. Stay. You're not the maid here, Clara. You're family. Gasped from the servants at the door. Clara staggered back, shaking her head. Please, sir, don't say things you'll regret. I never wanted. Victor stepped forward, fierce now. I regret only that it took me this long to see what matters. You gave my son a miracle. That's family. Adam reached for her, clutching her apron. Daddy's right. You, my Clara. My family. Clara knelt, gathering Adam into her arms, sobbing now. You'll never be alone, Adam. Not as long as I'm here. Victor placed a hand on both their shoulders, voice breaking for maybe the first time in his life. From this day, nothing will be the same. My son can walk. My heart changed, and it's because of you. Behind them, the mansion loomed, still big, still grand, but suddenly all that wealth seemed like nothing compared to what was happening out on that garden path. A boy taking his first real steps, a maid who refused to give up, a father learning what it really means to care. For Victor, the richest man in the room, the lesson was sharp. Sometimes you pray for a miracle, and when it comes, it doesn't wear a white coat or cost a fortune. Sometimes it comes in the form of the one person no one expected. And you know what? That day didn't fix everything, Life's not a fairy tale, and people don't change in an instant. But from then on, every morning, Adam woke up wanting to try because someone had shown him he could. Clara stayed, not as the maid, but as family. And the house, for once, felt full. So what would you have done? If you were Victor? If you were Clara? Does family come down to blood or to the ones who pick you up when you fall? Let me know in the comments. Tell me what you'd call justice, or love, or a miracle. And hey, if this story stuck with you, don't just scroll by. Hit that like, drop a comment, share your take. I want to hear what you think. That's the only way stories like these matter, you know? Because in the end, what's the point of a miracle if you keep it to yourself?